morning.
Welcome to the morning show.
Yeah.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. We are the Big Show. It's a Thursday, and that's why we have the CEO and founder at Career Agility International, Adrian Choo, with us. Everybody's favorite career coach. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Glenn. Good morning to all our lovely listeners out there. Hope you guys are keeping dry. There was a huge thunderstorm this morning where I was at.
Right? See how accurate my weather report was?
Oh, yeah.
Today.
Today. Come on.
Oh my goodness. Other than that, it's always cloudy with temperatures hitting a high of 34.
And it's always cloudy.
Okay. All right, Adrian, so what are we talking about today?
Well, last week, a whole bunch of US tech companies retrenched a whole lot of staff.
Here as well?
Here as well, globally. Microsoft retrenched globally 6,000.
Wow, they've been doing
individuals.
quite a lot of cuts over the years, haven't
Yeah,
they?
but this was a huge one, and it represented close to 3% of their total workforce. And what was interesting was that the people being let go, two things about this that was interesting. The people that were being let go, a lot of them were AI related.
Oh,
So the
but
head of AI, there's this lady, global head of AI at Microsoft, she was let go. And we are wondering why, isn't AI the next big thing? And one of the reasons that Microsoft and a lot of the other tech companies gave was that the reason why they're letting people go, AI.
but doesn't AI still need to be controlled by people?
Apparently, yeah, of course they do, but
Yeah.
maybe not so many people.
Less people.
Maybe they got someone better.
Maybe. I don't even think they got someone better because normally when they retrench people, they don't rehire.
They don't replace
they
them,
don't
right?
replace them. It's really a headcount reduction. So what was interesting was that one Microsoft spokesperson said that almost 30% of their coding is now done by AI.
Right.
So with that kind of automation, I was just telling Glenn just now, I'm wondering if I were a university student doing coding in
Computer science and all that. Yeah.
I'd be worried.
Because you would think to yourself, I'm taking up this AI course and all that for good reason because
Yeah.
it's the next big thing, right?
Yeah.
But the computers are already so advanced
Right.
in that aspect.
But not just the AI course. I mean, someone would major in
Computer
science,
Yeah.
and AI would be part of
Yeah.
the course, right?
So I'm wondering whether or not there's any need for learning how to code nowadays. At the rate the AI is going, it will code itself, and after a while they'll take over the world and we'll all be dead.
But you still need to know, right? Because once you do know, awareness is better for you because then you know how to use it properly as well.
And interestingly, there are two schools of thought because over the weekend, my son's classmates, old school classmates, came over, and one of them was is in computer science in NUS, and I asked him, will AI replace a coder? He says right now, no, you still need to know the coding. So I asked him, do you code and then let AI check your code and give you the look for the mistakes?
Yeah.
Or he said, no, actually one of his professors told him, let AI code
And then
you
you
go and check.
Right.
So I was like, that is strange, and I have no idea. I mean, for all our listeners out there, if you're in AI, or if you're in technology, can you advise?
I kind of get what he's trying to say because, like, for me, if I were to use ChatGPT, I don't write the article and then tell ChatGPT to tidy it up. I prompt ChatGPT
Yeah.
much like you would prompt for the coding,
Yeah.
and then do a once over and see which
Check,
bits I
yeah.
want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let the computer or the AI do the work first and then go over it.
Yeah, I think that should be the way, right? Because
Yeah.
sometimes, there are mistakes.
Yes,
quite
correct.
a few as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm wondering whether it's a matter of time before AI generates and then checks itself.
100%.
And then you really don't need the coding piece anymore. It's like, it's moving so fast. And the problem is that I don't know whether the education system can cope with it. But more importantly, can our workforce cope with it?
Okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Lil Tecca with Dark Thoughts on Kiss 92.
So if anyone is watching us on the Big Show TV, let us know if you've been recently retrenched. You have your counselor here today, so
Any questions?
he
you can
will
ask,
he will
yeah.
offer anything that he can in terms of what you need to know. So just type it in the comment section. Whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, we've got it both covered.
But you mean are non-tech companies also retrenching? I mean, we're talking about Microsoft and other tech companies, and what about the non-tech companies?
I think retrenchments have been going on the quiet for quite a while. No matter whether it's tech or non-tech. I think it's gotten a bit it's picked up a little bit more because of the Trump tariffs. And I don't know whether or not it's a direct knock-on effect of the Trump tariffs affecting companies, resulting in their loss of revenue, or whether it's just the uncertainty of will there, won't there, the economy and everything. So in anticipation for rough times ahead, I'm going to let people go. But we have seen individuals who have been retrenched in the non-technology sector, and I think it's going to continue.
Okay.
So that's why the big question for today is there any way you can prevent it? And if you do get hit by a retrenchment, what does it mean? We haven't spoken about this retrenchment topic for quite a while. That's why I thought it would be interesting in this season of people being let go to just revisit it. And for those of us who are at risk or have been affected, maybe you can ask questions.
Well, if they have been paying attention to anything that you've been saying over the past 5 years, they would already have a plan B, right?
And a plan C.
And a plan C
Yeah,
before they get retrenched, right? But not everybody does. So
Yeah.
what do they do?
So I actually know of this individual who's doing quite well in his job. Okay. And he has been in the company for close to 9-10 years. And he's quietly waiting for his retrenchment because he wants the package. And to him, the retrenchment is a good reset for him. So he's just waiting and just hanging in there. And so sometimes a retrenchment may not be a bad thing all the time.
It's
Sometimes
okay if you're ready.
It's okay if you're ready and if you're prepared. And also depends on your stage of life. Some individuals, they are having young kids and everything and they really need the cash flow. Then that really sucks. That's going to be bad. But I know some individuals who are just waiting for the retrenchment package and hoping to get it so that the life can move on into the next chapter.
What do retrenchment packages look like?
Oh, wow.
I mean, ranging
Typically, it's 1 month per year of service.
So if you work for 10 years, you get 10 months
yeah.
salary straight up. Right,
Yeah.
okay.
So, but there's a guideline. Some companies give less.
All right, okay.
I don't think any companies will give more than that. But so in other words, if you work for 12 years, you basically get 1 year's salary upfront, tax-free.
Oh, it's tax-free.
It's tax-free. If it's a redundancy package, it's tax-free. The taxman will not touch it.
Will your company tell you if they're going to retrench you? Because you said like your friend, he's just waiting to get, or your client, he's just waiting to get retrenched.
Yeah. Sometimes
Do you
they
know it's
will,
coming?
sometimes they won't. Sometimes the writing's on the wall. And sometimes it hits you when you least expect it. And ironically, sometimes the people who want it the most don't get it. Because they're like, too expensive, and the company is saying, "No, I'll just wait this guy out. I'll make him frustrated. He's going to resign. I don't give him anything."
So what is a golden handshake? I've heard that term on many, many occasions. Is it the company, retrenching
Retirement or
you and then
retrenching?
paying you like
Yeah,
1
the big
month
payoff,
per
yeah.
year, as you mentioned?
The big payoff is golden handshake. Thank you very much.
So it's a retrenchment, not a retirement.
Yeah.
It's a retrenchment. Okay.
It's still a retrenchment.
Normally retirement, and this is something contentious. So the retirement age in Singapore is like, okay, there are two stages. One's retirement, one's re-employment. I always get confused. So I think at 62, there's a re-employment age, and at 67 or 69, 68, there's a retirement age.
Correct, like FD.
Yeah, he had that
Yeah.
re-employment
Yeah,
age.
re-employment
I
age.
think it got raised. He's what now, 69 this year?
Yes.
2 years ago, maybe
It keeps
67.
going up. That's why I've lost
yeah,
track,
it
honestly.
keeps going up.
I actually think they should just take off the numbers. No retirement, no re-employment age. If you want to work, why should suddenly when you turn 63 or 62, your contract's up for renewal by default?
But then you get people like, I had a taxi driver who was 74. He says he's turning 75 next year, and that he has to retire because he cannot drive anymore. But that is a specific industry.
That might be an age health-related kind thing.
You can't? You mean there's an
I think
age
so.
limit?
I think there's a cap for if you're driving the public around, so like taxi drivers, private hire,
okay.
and stuff like that, for safety reasons, because you got someone else in your car,
And-
right?
But I see where you're coming from. I would actually disagree with that as well. Then in that case, doctors, I see some doctors are 86 still practicing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Does
Life
that mean,
in your hands,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's even
I mean,
more.
they're not like surgeons or anything like that. They're general practitioners, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you're-
GPs, you know.
GPs
Then by
okay,
that
what?
token,
Yeah, because they're not cutting you open or
Yeah,
anything.
but you're
Exactly.
driving. If a taxi driver has to stop working because of 75 because of health reasons or mental acuity reasons, then by that same logic,
a doctor.
teacher or a tutor, doctors lah, because lives are at stake.
I wonder if they get retested. You know, because I mean, doctors are also prone to
My uncle is a
dementia
GP.
as well. No, I'm saying
he retired at the age of 80.
Yeah, and I think that's perfectly fine.
87.
But do
I
they
think.
get tested like along the way to make sure that they still have their minds straight? You know what I mean?
I don't know, but
Because
he-
they can be misdiagnosed,
Yeah,
give the wrong
or-
medication
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not saying they're crazy, but I'm just saying.
like a bit ageist like that.
No, I'm
No,
not being
that's exactly
ageist.
the
I'm
case.
all for people working till
Yeah.
till they drop.
But the doctors are the ones
they-
who take care of themselves, I feel. Like at least my
Perhaps,
uncle did.
Perhaps, yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
So I think artificial age limits should
Yeah.
all be taken off.
But
Unless it's a
driving
health
different,
reason.
bro.
Driving is
I've come across like really old
Oh my
men
gosh, yeah.
who drive and they're like, they're dozing off. You know?
Or
Put
they're
them through a
constantly
driving-
on the brake.
Put them through a driving test, lah.
They
if you
do
can
go
pass,
through it. They do
if
go
you can
through
pass
it.
a driving test.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going for traffic update and then back on air.
Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're on the ECP heading into the city after the East Coast car park H exit, avoid lane 3. A vehicle has broken down. Also on the PIE heading towards Tuas before Paya Lebar Road. An accident has been reported causing backup all the way to Bedok North Avenue 3's exit, avoid lane 2. The roads are wet, so please be extra cautious. Let us know if you spot anything. 8855
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Adrian Choo from Korea Agility International. If you would like to get in touch with Adrian, you can do so at send him an email, info@koreaagility.org. And just now, on The Big Show TV, we were talking about,
Ages.
drivers.
Age limits.
Should there be an age limit for private hire drivers,
Yeah.
taxi drivers? And should there be an age limit for general practitioners as well? Because
Yeah.
Angel says they're unstable.
No, I did not say they're unstable. I mean, this is
they're
public service, right?
Right,
I mean,
right.
drivers are public service, doctors are public service as well. And drivers get tested for, their eyesight, their
Yeah,
hearing, their agility in terms of how to react to stuff like that. So I'm just thinking, because doctors also have to prescribe and they have to diagnose and all that. So do they get retested as well at a certain age
I
for
don't-
dementia or something?
Yeah, I guess.
No, because dementia
They
hits a lot of people, and this is something you can't stop.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if they do. It's a fair question. I'm not being ageist.
But
Yeah, I just feel like it's a little strange that she should be talking about doctors testing themselves.
Getting tested, not testing themselves.
Okay, getting tested.
No, they can't test
because,
themselves
they are
because
qualified to test themselves.
No, because they'll be like, I can do everything. I
it's
don't
like
have
a doctor
dementia.
writing his own MC.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
like,
you
I don't want to work this week. I just write myself 1 week MC and that's it.
Okay, so Matthew Lee says surgeons, not doctors, are the ones that have an age limit.
There you go.
Okay, so surgeons,
That makes sense.
We told her that, didn't we?
Oh, stop it.
But I think they should, because your manual dexterity goes. But I think the surgeon himself knows when it's. So I have a cousin-in-law who's in who's in Australia. He's an eye surgeon,
Okay.
and when he was graduating or graduated, and he's a very active guy. and he likes to play football with his friends, with his gang. And his mom came out one day to the football pitch and scolded him and said, "I didn't pay so much money for you to go play football and injure your hand, and you can't do any more surgery. You better."
Yeah, but it's true.
Literally pulled him off the pitch by his ear.
Yeah.
No more active sports for you. That's it. Because the manual dexterity is important for them.
Of course, absolutely.
Because remember Doctor Strange, right?
You don't want to be put in the situation.
Basically, if you damage your hands, you can't do any surgery, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And for surgeons, like you were mentioning, right, whether or not they should go for tests and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure they will know,
If their hands are a bit shaky.
Their hands start to shake, or if they're unable to perform an operation, I'm sure they're not going to go like, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. For pride. Yeah.
I don't think that.
Yeah.
But I guess also if you're in general surgery, like taking out appendix, I mean that's
you still need to have surgeon's hands.
I don't know. I think you can just hack at it.
Can you imagine? You'd be like, "Oh crap, that's the liver."
Why are you picking on the doctors?
I'm not picking. Oh my goodness, I'm not picking on the doctors. I love doctors.
But just old people in general.
Oh my gosh, I have old parents. I'm not picking on old people.
But you know who should go through a cognitive test?
Who?
Joe Biden, 2 years ago. I mean, if you're in a situation like this. Yeah, then maybe perhaps he should have done. But
he obviously had a problem. The whole world
saw it. Yeah, correct.
He did.
But everyone else was in denial.
Yeah.
Especially him, yeah.
But anyway, thank goodness he wasn't a surgeon at that point.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian on The Big Show TV. It is 8:22.
Kiss 92 Time Check by Poo Tian. Enjoy fresh 10.
So, the question is, what happens if you do get retrenched? I wanted to bring up this thing, which I've brought up before. It's the WSG, the Workforce Singapore, has come up with this Skills Future Job Seeker Support Program, and you can Google it. It's once again Skills Future Job Seeker Support Scheme.
What is it again? You lost me at the first word.
I know. It's Skills Future Job Seeker Support Scheme.
Okay, so just do Job Seeker Support Scheme. It'll pop up.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's basically if you've been retrenched. You can get funding up to $6,000
per month.
No, up $6,000 for the next 6 months. So it comes in tranches.
Oh, $6,000 for the next 6 months.
It's not a salary. It's not unemployment benefit.
So,
it's just to tide you over. But it's a caveat. There's a condition attached to it. You have to be of the salary scale of 5,000 or less per month.
Okay.
Which basically precludes all the Microsoft employees that got retrenched. The AI guys especially, they're so well paid, right? But I think if you're, but this was designed for people of that income bracket to tide them over, because I think if they get retrenched, they are more badly hit financially.
Yeah.
So if you're earning less than 5,000 on average for the past 12 months. You are entitled to sign up for it. You can go to the website and go look for it. And there are some other restrictions as well. If you're living on Sentosa Cove or whatever.
Then no.
How about no?
Yeah,
how about no, right?
So you got to check your eligibility. You've got to put your residential status, your last drawn gross monthly income, last date of employment, date of birth, and then you click check eligibility. And if it says Sentosa Cove, then obviously they have to say no. But other than that, if you're anywhere else and you really need the money, then you might qualify.
Yeah, and so the money is not just given up willy-nilly, like here's the money, you get
here's
some.
$6 grand, go spend it, yeah.
It's tied to job-seeking activities. So you have to sign up with either a WSG career coach,
right,
or your own private personal career coach, whoever it is. There are certain activities you attend to talk. There are points involved as well. So,
and they need to see that you're actively looking for a new job and not just sitting on the money.
Yeah, correct. And I think in addition to that, if you want to upskill and you take on there's another program which actually pays you some money. I can't remember which one it was. As you're taking the course, it gives you a stipend for the next 12 months or 18 months.
Oh, while you're taking the course
as well. So I think that's a really good upskilling program as well. And I think that is critically important, especially if you've been retrenched because the skills are out of date.
Okay.
So I think that's something that you guys can look at. If you're stuck or you want to find out more, just give WSG a call. Go.
They've got their career coaches and everything, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Just go call them up and bug them. Just say, hey, no, what's this? How do I do that? And I think you'll be in good hands if you just find out more.
Right.
Okay, I'm just trying to see what happens when I qualify for this.
Okay, you check.
Yeah.
I want to ask Adrian, I'm sure you have spoken to many people who have gotten retrenched before. What's their state of mind usually? I mean, are all of them, I know they'll probably feel, very down and demoralized and stuff like that. But have you ever come across, someone who's been retrenched and was still very, very enthusiastic that he or she, could probably land another job? Or are all the people who come and see you just really,
I
completely sad?
I think if they're mentally prepared for it, they're okay. So sometimes, and I always say retrenchments don't just happen overnight. There are always signs. Like your company is telling you, we missed 3/4 of revenue targets.
There may be some cuts.
There may be some cuts, industry is not looking good. Just be prepared for it. And if you're prepared for it, you should be okay. As I said earlier, some individuals are actually welcoming their package.
Is anyone safe though when you hear a conversation like that happen?
No.
You know what I mean? Because they're like, okay, so we didn't do so well. We're going to do some cuts, but we're not going to announce who yet. Can anybody feel safe?
I think it would be presumptuous to think that your job is safe or anyone's job is safe. So always assume that in today's
You're gonna get
environment,
cut.
just assume it. It's a matter of when, not if. And I think you'll feel a lot better if you think that way and you make your backup plans. Maybe I should look for another job. Maybe I should upskill. Maybe I should put off buying that very expensive fancy car.
Or bag or whatever it may be.
Yeah. So I think if you have that, I know it's not a very healthy mindset to always be living in fear. But if you don't stretch yourself, as long as you're prepared for it, I think you're okay. The bigger question we get is, if my boss retrenches me, can I fight it?
Can you?
Can't.
No?
It's just tough. I mean, if
You can't even go to MOM and say, I want them to give me my job back.
Unless it's a disguised retrenchment or disguised exit. It's a retrenchment exercise, but they disguise it as a firing.
What?
But don't they lose more money retrenching than they would firing?
No, sorry. So instead of I retrench you, I fire you.
Okay, so they save money.
So I save money on the package.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's sneaky.
Okay.
That's sneaky. I've seen companies do that before. Or maybe sometimes you get a situation where they just want to get rid of you and they retrench you.
They fire you, but they're actually retrenching you.
Yeah.
But so what is the difference between a retrenchment and a firing?
Okay, firing you don't get anything.
No, I know. So why won't companies just fire instead of retrench? Because they lose money, right?
That's why they do. That's why some unscrupulous companies do that.
Okay.
Unscrupulous. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, unscrupulous companies do that. So those companies, if you do report them to MOM, they can get in trouble.
See, those companies are dirty.
Okay.
Right, it's a dirty tactic.
Yes.
Okay, going back on here.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE towards Tuas, right before Paya Lebar Road, there is an accident that's causing a backup all the way to Bedok North Avenue 3's exit. Avoid lane 2. And also on the ECP towards the airport before Ophir Road's entrance, avoid lane 4 because an obstacle has been spotted. Let us know what that obstacle is. 8855 0920.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today and every Thursday is Adrian Choo, CEO and founder at Career Agility International. And today we've been talking retrenchment.
Okay, so Yu Ching said, I think Microsoft did not have signs that a retrenchment was coming. Was that true? That's what she says.
I don't know, if you're in tech company, nothing's guaranteed. So I would beg to differ. I think the people in Microsoft all know
Would
that
have
their
known.
jobs are on the line all the time. So I don't know. But if anyone from Microsoft would like to comment, I think that'll be useful.
So you said they have since retrenched 6,000 people
Globally.
globally.
Yeah.
Which is
But
3%.
they must have a huge global workforce.
Well, that's 3% only. So
So
6,000
there
is
you go.
3%. Yeah.
See?
So apparently it's the second largest mass retrenchment exercise.
Yeah,
in
the other one
history.
happened recently as well, not too long ago, a couple of years ago, no?
That's
Yeah.
right. So I think once in a while they reset. They hit the reset button and just clean house.
So basically, retrenchment is a company looking after its employees. Yes? That they're going to get rid of. Because you
Yes.
said unscrupulous companies would just fire and not have to pay the retrenchment package.
Yes.
But because you've worked in the company for 10 years, we want to at least look after you and pay you those 10 months.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that you have
It's a
time
fair
to.
deal,
So
yeah.
it is a nice way of looking
She
after.
makes it sound so nice. Huh?
No, but isn't it true though?
No, but, I mean, it's true. It's
It's
better
true.
than firing.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
we
yeah.
were discussing.
Because,
but,
I mean-
I don't think one would put it that way. Like, yeah, they're looking after them.
No,
you
because
know.
otherwise everyone would just fire.
Yeah.
Am
They're,
I right?
They're doing it the right way.
They're doing it the right way.
the fairer way.
Exactly. So they're
Yeah.
looking after you.
And the nicer companies, to your point,
Yeah.
Angel, the nicer companies will not just provide cash, money, they'll provide the career outplacement as well.
Oh, right,
With companies
okay.
like Career Agility to look after the staff who are exiting so that they can not just land jobs faster, but also emotionally, take care of them to make sure that they're in the
See?
right place and everything. So the more progressive companies would invest in outplacement services like ours to make sure that the staff land properly.
Right.
And when the staff land properly, they will only have nice things to say about their former company. They say not only were they kind to give us a package, they offered us outplacement services, and I landed the job fast, and I'm grateful. Sometimes like what you said earlier, Dan. I'm quite an optimist. Okay, I'm always an optimist. Annoys the hell out of Yen, but I'm always very optimistic. Sometimes things happen for a reason. So I had this individual who was a finance director for a hotel chain. He got retrenched about 7 years ago. He was morbidly obese. Okay, he was really bad shape, and because he was stressed out, and he was staying in this hotel in the middle of nowhere, but it's a very nice 5-star hotel. So he said the food was there,
Everything was there.
So he didn't take care of his health. He got retrenched. He went back to Malaysia. He's a Malaysian guy, and he slipped into a bit of depression at first. But after that, he said, "Hey, this is a time for me to turn my life around." And he got into a fitness program, and now he's a trainer.
Oh, wow. Well done.
I saw his photograph.
Well
He sent me his
done.
photo, abs and all. I was like, "Are you sure this isn't your
your
cousin
before?
or your before or your cousin?" No, fantastic. So he said,
Wow.
"My retrenchment saved my life." He said,
Right.
if it wasn't, if I just carried on. So sometimes things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
You have to be circumspect about it.
Yeah.
And if you adopt that kind of mindset, I think it will be less painful. Although it's going to be painful in the first cut of it, but it's a chance to
renew.
to reset your career. If you put your mind to it, I think it's possible.
So Matthew Lee says now a lot of companies are sort of going around the back door, and instead of signing you on, they sign you on as a contract basis, so that they don't have to retrench or fire you. They just don't renew your contract. Is that popular now?
Yes, they do. It's the bigger companies as well. So it's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. And a lot of times also, it's not just the retrenchment reason. It's because sometimes the companies do not have headcount. It's like, okay, you
They
only
don't
have
have
10.
any,
Only need to. This department only has 10 people.
Yeah.
But you need the 11th person. Okay, just sign him up as a contractor. For all intents and purposes, this person is part of the team. He does everything. He carries an employee pass, but he's on contract.
Okay. Let's continue to talk to Adrian on The Big Show TV. Miley Cyrus is next.
This is brand new. Here's a tune that
Mall has put a link up on our Facebook page. It's called thelayoff.com. It's a forum and a good source of rumors for layoffs of American MNCs.
Oh.
So it's probably a good read.
Oh, that's funny. Thanks, Mo. No, Matthew brought up an interesting point as well when he mentioned the contract. Some companies now they I mean, even if they don't retrench you by saying that I don't renew your contract, even if they give you a retrenchment package, basically they're only limited to 1 month.
What do you mean?
Because
who is limited to
the company's payout to the individual is only limited. Sorry, it's only limited to 1 year, which is equals to 1 month of package. Because they say from your even if you work in a company for 10 years on 1 year contracts, right?
Oh, right.
They
Okay.
only pay you for your most recent 1 year contract.
Because it's that latest contract.
Yes, correct.
Right,
So
okay.
sometimes they will still do the right thing in laying you off.
Retrench you, but you only
retrenching
get a month.
Only a month.
And if you sign on for 2 years, then it's 2 months and so on and so forth.
Yeah, correct. But most of the time, it's a 1 year renewable contract. So
Yeah.
a lot of companies now are trying to hedge their bets by giving out 1 year contract. So these are little tricks of the trade, which
Saves them money.
saves them money, which is
And no benefits as well for the contractors.
yeah.
There are no benefits.
But sometimes they even provide the benefits in lieu of. So it's like, I'll give you an extra $1,000. So you don't have insurance or whatever it is, but you go buy your own.
Yeah, but that's for you to negotiate, right?
Yes, correct,
Yeah.
correct. So things like that. But the downside is risk is kept. But I really despise companies that fire people, false retrenchment. I mean, they're going to retrench stuff, but just fire the person just to say. I think that's mean. That's mean.
But it's not illegal.
Not illegal because it's hard to prove.
Yeah.
It's hard to prove. And if you're in a situation like this, I would recommend just pick up the phone, talk to MOM, and see what they say. Tough app, MOM.
Because if it's a retrenchment also disguised as a firing, then you wouldn't be the only person going through it, right? More likely than not, there will be other people as well being culled from the company, right?
Yeah, correct.
So all of you can
I had
kinda
a friend in
gang
that
up.
situation where, he had been working for the company for over 10 years, got along well with the bosses and everyone, very, very cheerful guy. And then all of a sudden he was told he had to attend this, like I think it was an assessment kind of thing, where
Like an appraisal type
yeah,
thing?
because they said, his performance was not up to par, and so he would have to be assessed. I don't know what.
Okay, I know. It's called a performance improvement program.
There you go.
Yeah,
PIP.
So basically,
Okay.
it's telling you you're not performing up to standard. In the next 6 months, these are the things you need to
If
do.
you don't?
If you
Yeah.
don't, you're gonna let you go.
Oh,
Then they'll tell
And
you.
what happened
they'll
with
tell
him?
you. They'll tell you why. Like, you're not very good with people, or whatever.
Some lame ass excuse.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And he was not that at
Yeah,
all, right?
yeah,
and
he was
so
doing well.
He went for that,
Yeah.
and then he was still assessed as not good enough.
Oh, no.
And then asked to leave.
oh no! So he lost the job.
Yeah.
He was asked to leave, not fired.
Sorry.
Oh, fired.
Asked to leave.
Asked to leave is, I don't know.
Okay, so it's called termination with cause.
Okay.
So now I'm letting you go,
But
but
there's
the
a
cause,
reason.
the reason is because you're not performing. Rather than I let you go, then you want to come back to me and you want to sue me for wrongful termination, right? They say, no, but I put you on a 6-month PIP. I gave you a chance. You could not perform, therefore I let you go. So,
But what
it's-
if the targets are way out of reach?
Yeah, that's why lah. So
You know what I mean?
That's why we're saying dirty.
Yeah.
dirty lah. It's dirty.
Can you go to
unscrupulous.
MOM?
You can.
Can you win?
But then with
Once
that
again,
PIP thing,
It's
then
tough.
they'll just say,
they'll just say you didn't
You
perform.
went through the course and whatever, and
Yeah. So sometimes HR quite naughty. They will put you through their rigmarole, and then after that they'll just say, "Oh, well, we tried. We gave him chances, so we let him go."
So if you terminate, you have to compensate, right? No, if you terminate. But if you terminate with cause, then you don't have to compensate.
Technically,
Am I right?
you're right. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If you normal termination, you can give like a
whatever's
month.
the contract, whatever's contracted
salary or whatever it is.
Yes, the notice period you got to pay.
If you don't work out the
yes, correct.
notice period, right?
Yeah.
But if you do it with cause, you can go immediately without any
Without
notice
any
period and
yeah.
pay.
Yes. So.
So that was just
if you
them
feel
getting off
aggrieved,
easy.
Yes, correct. So if you feel aggrieved,
Tough it.
tough it.
which you will. I mean, who won't feel
I'm,
aggrieved?
okay, I'm generalizing here.
Yeah.
But what we tell our clients, if you do get put on a PIP for no reason, The writing's on the wall already. They're out for blood already. You go look for another job.
Oh, while you're on that.
While you're on
PIP.
that, yeah, because you especially if you know the targets, like PIP, the target is like, it was crazy. I used to have to meet 10 people a month or close 10 sales. Now I got to close 50 sales. You're obviously trying to get me out. So if you're put on a PIP already,
You're setting me up to fail, basically.
yeah, correct. That's the first shot across the bow.
Did he
warning
find a new
sign.
job? Your friend?
I
Or he
I
didn't
think
see
he's
it
taking a
coming?
break, I think,
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
It's tough.
What a shame.
Yeah, I mean, not every employer behaves well, unfortunately. So if you see a misbehaving employer, then it's like time to
Run.
run.
Because at the end of the day, it's like they want to save costs. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they can just fire someone without having to compensate the person, even better for
And
them.
make it
right?
look like it's
For
that
some of
guy's
these
cause.
Yeah,
For some of
That
these
guy's-
companies.
yeah.
Gaslighting, isn't it?
It's
usually-
gaslighting.
It's
think
usually
so.
the smaller companies, huh?
Yeah.
Not the big established ones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The big ones have a reputation to keep, so they normally behave. They normally behave. And yet we've seen big companies misbehaving as well. So a company that shall not be named, but 8 years, 10 years back, they retrenched a whole bunch of folks, senior folks, and then they said that the CEO came out and said that, they're all non-performers. But wasn't true.
Okay.
So he was taken to task for it.
Oh dear. Okay, so Kimberly has sent in a message. She says, my girlfriend was assessed 3 times within a week and told she didn't perform up to standard and asked to leave. This was during her probation period.
This-
What can she do?
Not PIP.
Cannot, right? No.
Probation, no. Probation, you're given like 1 week notice.
So
So,
there's no chance of fighting it.
yeah.
Sorry, Kimberly. No go.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough. Unfortunate. But sometimes I believe that if it's a sign. If probation you can't make it, you don't like it there, they don't like you,
Move on.
move on. It's like the first date doesn't work out, the guy
Don't keep chasing
the
it,
guy
right?
queues with his mouth open, it's like that's it. I don't see him as a husband material, that's it. I'm
Yeah,
out.
walk on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, usually probation is 6 months?
Sometimes 3.
Oh, 3
depending.
months. 3 months.
Some can be 6, some can be 3.
My first job at Shell was a 1-year probation.
Oh my god, mine was a 1-year probation too.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you make it past probation?
Of course.
No, I mean, did you wanna? Because sometimes after a year, you're like, okay, I really don't like this job. I
All
walk,
radio
right?
presenters, their probation is a year.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that was the standard. These days, it's like it's so
3
easy.
months or something.
And they never
Yeah.
confirmed me until the second or third year. They forgot all about it because sometimes the probation period is just there for. It's just there for.
And you forgot as well?
I forgot.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But
There
you
was-
were enjoying yourself.
And there was no benefits, additional benefits to being confirmed or whatever it is. So we just all
Oh.
forgot about it. And it's like just one of those clauses.
But you
which-
get a pay rise, right? After probation is confirmed, after it's
Well,
done.
I got a pay rise anyway, so it was independent, just a formality. Formality. So,
Okay.
but if you do get canned or asked to leave during a probation period, there's very little you can do about it.
Yeah, because I mean
That's what it's for.
Probation
Probation is
period
all about, right?
is for.
It protects the employer
But
more
one
than
thing I find
anything.
unfair is that you cannot. Many probation contracts state that you cannot even apply for leave or MC.
Okay,
While on
that's
probation?
unfair.
Yeah.
That's unfair. While probation cannot be
You
forced.
can't help yourself if you
but,
fall ill.
But
Yeah.
annual leave, if you're on 6 months probation, I think they should prorate it at least. But some probation contracts say you not entitled to annual leave until after you get confirmed,
Okay.
which I don't think is fair.
No, that just means that you don't get paid for your leave.
Yeah,
You
correct
can
lah.
take leave,
You can take
but you
leave.
just don't get paid for it, which is okay. It's not like they're not letting you go anywhere.
They can't. It's not a.
They're not jailing you up or something. Yeah. It's just that you don't get paid for
Yeah,
it.
it's not indentured servitude. You're not a slave.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can't.
Because after you get confirmed,
You'll be a slave then.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So the probation is the easy part.
Any more questions from people before we go back on air one last time?
No, lots of comments, but no questions really for Adrian.
Adrian. Okay, let's go for a traffic update and then
Again?
one last time.
Okay.
Kiss Kiss 92 traffic.
Roads are still wet, so look out for some situations, including these. On the PIE towards the airport after Kallang, a vehicle has broken down. On the SLE towards the BKE, an accident at the Yio Chu Kang Road entrance. And finally, on Marymount Road, a vehicle has broken down. This is in the direction of Sin Ming Avenue. Avoid the left lane. Wherever you are this morning, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Hope you've been enjoying the session that we've had, our conversation with Adrian Choo. Of course, today we're talking about retrenchment. And you know what, before we let you go, Adrian, would you like to give some of our listeners who perhaps may have been retrenched some advice?
Well, life goes on. Retrenchments used to be very negative, huge stigma on you that you are not performing, therefore you will let go. But in today's context, everyone gets retrenched once, twice, 3 times. In fact, I know an individual who was retrenched 3 times, and top performer, but he was so happy because he was paid out 3 times as well.
That's true.
In his life. So it's like, so he says it's like hitting the lottery 3 times. So
But that obviously means he was prepared.
he was prepared.
You know?
He was he was career agile, so he was quite happy. Took a short break, landed another role.
Nice.
So I think number one, don't be too down. Everyone lands a job eventually, but I think it's time to ask yourself: is this the industry I want to be in? If it's retrenching all the time, how do I pivot out? Or is this a role that I'm in? It doesn't have longevity? Maybe the AI is going to come take over it. How do I pivot to something different? So it's a time for reflection. But if you feel aggrieved during the process, feel free to just go give MOM, WSG, TAFEP, whoever, all those alphabet organizations a call, and just get advice from them.
Okay.
So what's an ironclad industry you think that will not be affected?
Wow.
The best industry to be in?
I'd say every industry is.
Someone.
has gone-
What? No, politically incorrect statement. So I'm not going to do it. So anyway,
Politics.
NTUC. So anyway,
Really?
no, just kidding. Because they always say when ministers don't get through, they get posted there, right?
Oh my goodness.
So okay, politically incorrect statement. Forget to say that.
He
But
takes it all back.
I take it all
Adrian
back.
Choo, you're doing so well.
I was doing so well today. No, but
We won't see you next week, friends.
your people talk to my people.
Yes,
No, but one thing that's important is that there's no industry that is guaranteed iron rice bowl anymore. Even the government services, if you are assuming that your rice bowl is guaranteed, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, you need to be very agile and just be mindful that changes happen and just be prepared for it.
Can be a priest. Okay. Thank you very much, Adrian, for joining us on the show. We'll see you next week.
Okay, have a great one, guys. Take care. Bye.
All right. Shazza is next. This is Pity Party on Kiss 92.
I woke up in the morning and I felt the urge to fall off my bed so I can maybe have a good reason to call off the thing.